Sure. We have to go with the homegrown
Definitely,
guy.
definitely.
Hulle weet nie want ons weet nie. Yeah, bring it home, DDP.
Yeah,
Bring
no,
it home, boy.
definitely.
Bring that title home.
And then
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the CPS Reports. Today, we're doing another fight content episode, breaking down UFC 297, Strickland versus Dricus Du Plessis. And with me always, it's Jedi Mindtix. How's it going, bro? You good?
yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. Glad to be back and to start. What event did we have last week? Oh yeah, that's fight night.
It was a
Anyway,
fight night.
good to start of the new pay-per-view and starting with the South African homeboy Dricus Du Plessis still knocks. Very amped for this one.
Oh wait, nah, super amped. I guess let's could kick it off with that fight, which is the main event for this pay-per-view. Strickland versus Dricus Du Plessis. Dricus carrying the South African flag, big time for us. What are your thoughts on this fight? Do you think Dricus has got the necessary attributes to take the title? Do you think Strickland is gonna be maybe just too much with his boxing and his fully show boxing? Do you think it's gonna be too much for Dricus?
I might be biased to do this, but obviously I'm trying to give it my best analysis as um, a very fair analysis of the fight. And I think for me, I think Dricus has got the slight edge. Granted, okay, yeah, Strickland is a champ and he beat Easy, which is no easy task. But also, um, I think this is going to be a tougher fight. I think that if you look at all the dudes or the last four guys that they fought, I feel like Dricus fought harder fights than him, tougher guys.
Mm-hmm. Dricus'
And
last
if
6 fights has
you,
been tough, yeah.
yeah, I think Dricus's last fight was tougher than Strickland's fight. If you look at who Strickland fought, he fought, what's that guy? A bus?
He fought
He fought,
he fought Jacob Manson, then Pereira, which he lost to. Then he fought Cannonier,
yeah,
which he lost to
exactly.
again. Then he fought
Ooh.
Amelhoff, which he won, and then Magomedov, which he won, and then obviously now Adesanya, which he won as well.
Now that's what I'm saying. And then Dracus.
Dricus is 6-0, but he hasn't lost yet in the
Yeah, but
UFC.
who was Dracus' last four fights?
His
Was
last
Darren
four
Till?
fights, his last four fights
Yeah.
were Whittaker, Brunson, Till, Tavares.
Now look at that. That's tough, dude. Dudes that's been in the division for a very long time. So
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like Drake. If there's ever a chance that Dracus or South African can win the UFC title, I think it's now. And granted that Strickland, I feel like I feel like obviously he's hyped up that he's the champ and he's been waiting and he's hungry, but so he's Dracus Du Plessis.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a very fair fight. Both
Mm.
guys can knock the other one out, of course.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're both very awkward, obviously, and got unique styles in their fighting.
Mhm.
But in a game planning and adjusting in the fight, I feel like Dracus is gonna beat him. I feel like that's where Dracus is gonna win this fight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
yes.
I'm gonna go with the homeboy, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, I also don't want to be completely biased. Obviously, my background has got Dricus on, but that's only because of the patriotism towards having any South African athlete that competes on the world stage. We're gonna support your homegrown. Obviously, it's just how it
Yeah,
works.
yeah.
But when you remove that lens and just look at the fighters for what they are and like where they are in their careers, I'm also tipping it towards Dricus Du Plessis just because of the fact that he's got a higher percentage of knockouts, TKOs, higher sub percentage.
Mm,
He's got better control time
mm.
over Strickland. And if you watch
Strickland.
Strickland's fights, he's almost one dimensional. I know there's a lot of saying going around that he's a fantastic wrestler, but he's never really had to use it in the UFC ever. He hasn't had one
But he
fight
lost
where
against Jared Cannonier.
they didn't wrestle, bro. They had five rounds of trying to manage distance, and Cannonier just had a bit. He just had a bit more output that made him win the fight, and he had Strickland going on the back foot for 5 rounds, basically. So if Strickland comes
there you go.
if Strickland fights anything like that, the way he fought Cannonier, the way he fought Pereira, the way he fought what's that guy, that Russian, Magomedov, although he went forward against Magomedov, but in the first 2 rounds he was back foot the whole time. They pressed him against the cage. And Strickland is very, very one-dimensional with his boxing. He just boxes. He doesn't throw any offensive kicks. His deep kicks is just to manage his distance and to keep you in a position where you're in front of him and not going left to right. Whereas Dricus is a fucking 2 division and 3 organization champion, bro. That man cleaned out the EFC. He cleaned out the organization in Sweden. He cleaned out the K1. And he's just shown more in all of his 6 fights that he had in the UFC so far, that he can box, he can kickbox, he can wrestle, he can jiu-jitsu, and he can submit people. And I think
he's from the plus.
And he's from the plus. And he's from the plus. He just has a bit more grit for me. Although Strickland is also, bro, man throw down, he's a dog, man. He's a full-on dog.
Nice. He's a poor white trash, as he says.
As he says,
so he has every reason to fight.
Absolutely. He's not scared of throwing down fisticuffs, but I don't think he should go into this fight against Dricus with that intention. I think if they go bull against bull and they go straight head to head for one another, I think he loses against Dricus. Dricus is...
Dricus is going to beat him.
He's a bit of a freak of nature with regards to this division that he's in. I think he's a bit more powerful than most of the guys in the middleweight division. So on that regard, I'll give it to Dricus. Did you see Strickland's podcast he had with Curtis, who's also on this fight called Chris Curtis?
No, it came up on my feed. I just didn't. Didn't watch it.
A lot of it, I was just like, these guys are a bit annoying. But the one thing I did pay attention to was Strickland saying that in the moment that he was scrapping with Dricus in the crowd there, he said that he was in the moment. There was a quick moment where he was about to bite Dricus's head when Dricus took him down. And he was about to, but then he realized if he does, there's no way they're going to have a title fight. So he literally just stopped in mid-bite. He stopped. And then when they pulled him apart, he felt that he had some particles of Dricus's hair in his mouth. And I was thinking to myself, what a mad night. But anyway, I hope nothing goes south and no dirty shit happens in the fight. I hope they fight clean. I want Dricus to beat Strickland at Strickland's best, and no shady business in this fight, obviously. But that being said, I noticed that the Dricus has been having a one-up with regards to the banter that they use to promote the whole thing, the whole fight. And the whole thing is that Dricus is riding the wave that Strickland is able to dish out a lot of cuck to people and say a lot of terrible things about a lot of people. But then when Dricus is doing it to him, he wants to get all like mad real and mad personal and wants to literally like fight this man so badly that outside of the cage, he's willing to almost sacrifice the whole title fight because he's gotten so upset for what Dricus has said. Now, I'm not sure if you heard, but Dricus was talking to him, basically pinched to know about bringing up Strickland's childhood. Do you think that shows a little bit? Do you think that shows a little bit of, for a little context, if you didn't know, basically what Dricus said was he attacked or he mentioned Strickland's child abuse by his father when he was a child, and he brought that up.
I saw that.
And it pinched the nerve on Dricus, on Strickland. Do you think that Dricus' statement by saying that Strickland is unable to, he can dish it out, but he can't take it back, do you think that is playing a big factor into this fight, that maybe Strickland is taking it a bit too emotional, which could potentially cost him the fight in whole?
I think obviously it does to a certain degree, you know what I mean? You can obviously see the dude's angry and whatever, but it's also just his personality, and he's just one of those oaks that when you poke at him, he's gonna retaliate. He's gonna react aggressively, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's just that type of guy. I think most champions on their first title defense, it always means a lot more and it weighs on them a lot more. So it could be that.
Good point.
And then And then obviously, yeah, these dudes they didn't really like each other for a long time. So yeah, it's time to throw down. On the one side, you got the poor white American trash, and on the other side, you got the privileged um, white South African boy that doesn't really need to fight. So it's like two different. They come from two different worlds, and it's gonna be a fun thing to see them go at each other. But yeah, for me, obviously, I think that the plus power is gonna take him down.
Yeah. Yeah,
They're
no.
gonna still knock him, bro. It's gonna be
I
over in 3 rounds, 3 or 4 rounds. It's not gonna go to decision.
yeah, I also say three
I think it's gonna be
rounds.
over in about 3 rounds.
Yeah, three rounds. But we'll give our predictions towards the end of the episode of each fight that we've covered. But before I move on, the last statement I want to make on Dricus is I've got the feeling that a lot of the fighters in the UFC don't like how Dricus is coming in and taking over. He's coming in with this air of whatever I'm going to say, I'm going to do, I'm going to do. And for the most part, actually, from the when you entered the UFC up until now, everything that Dricus has said has come to fruition. Like it turned out exactly the way he said it was going to happen. So maybe it's like that thing of like, who's the South African man coming here to take over? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no,
And I
definitely.
think he's just doing that so well that was actually it's starting to annoy a lot of people within the UFC. Anyway, let's move on to
No, definitely. They like who's South Africa.
you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? It's
Especially
that kind of thing.
especially since like there has been South African fighters that have had a chance in UFC over the
Yeah.
last few years, but they haven't really made any success out of it. Now Dricus is here and he's just wiping out the dogs, my bro. I think it's catching everyone by
Yeah.
surprise. It really is, especially because of how Dricus fights. It's catching everyone by surprise.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's move on to the co-main event, another title fight, the women's bantamweight between Raquel
Oh
Pennington
shit, is the
and
title.
the title fight, bro. Raquel
Okay,
Pennington
nice.
versus Mayra Bueno Silva. Now, I'm not sure if you've watched Bueno Silva, but she's been on a tear of late, beating Holly Holm.
Yeah, I've watched her.
I must say, like when I watched her come into the UFC first and like first couple of fights, she didn't look that impressive, if I'm being honest. But like now, her last few fights, she looks a completely different fighter. Like she's controlling the cage a bit better. She's now introduced a lot more stand up to her game because she already always had very good jiu-jitsu, but now she's able to pair the two together, jiu-jitsu and striking, which is making her. She's not quite there, but that is making her a formidable fighter. Because otherwise she wouldn't have gotten the title shot, if you're being honest. Raquel Pennington, you've seen her before, you watched her in the Tough House.
Yeah, I know.
She's also put on her for, I think,
Watched the whole career.
I watched the whole lot, literally 10 years, but she's been 10 years in the UFC.
Yeah.
And we've watched her rising forward. And this is the first time in her entire career that she's put on a fight win streak of like this 5-fight win streak. Although a lot of the fighters she fought, they haven't really been competing in the top five or not even the top 10. Except for the one woman she fought last, which was Vieira. She fought Vieira last. Caitlin Vieira. She's ranked. Yeah, she's a ranked fighter when you beat her. So that's what set her up for the title shot. I'm saying this because as much as I love Raquel Pennington, I think she's really cool. I think she's a good fighter. And I just think I got the feeling that Bueno Silva is going to take this one. What do you think?
I actually gonna go against you on this one. I think Raquel's gonna win this fight. Yeah.
Oh, why do you say so?
She's just gonna, cause Raquel's very game and she always comes in, ready to fight, and she gives it all every time. And like, if I look at the ladies that she lost against, she only lost against really Amanda and Holly Holm.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's two very tough people to lose against. And she beat the Irene Aldana.
She beat Aldana. I'm looking at it now, yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like if it does go to the ground, which it will at some point, I feel like Raquel's gonna hold her own. She's gonna get back up. And I think she's just gonna walk what's this lady's name again?
She's fighting.
Silva.
Bueno Silva, yeah.
Bueno Silva, yeah. Mayra. She's gonna walk her down and beat her up. I think it's gonna be a war. I think both ladies are gonna throw and do all kinds of crazy stuff like all the ladies fights are. But I think Raquel Pennington for me just because of experience and generalship, and she's been in there with Amanda twice, I think.
I'm not sure
So
she fought
yeah,
Amanda twice, but she fought like Jermaine the Anime, like really like top dogs of the women's division, especially this division.
I'm sure she's fought Amanda once upon a time, like a
Um,
long time ago. But anyway, yeah, I think pardon me. I think yeah, and Jermaine the Anime, I mean that was another tough fight also to lose. But anyway, I think she realizes this is a chance to get the belt, and she can really hold it for a decent amount of time if she does. Um,
yeah,
especially
well,
now that Amanda's gone, everybody's like, ah, it's my time. But yeah, if there's anyone to replace Amanda, Raquel Pennington is definitely a thumbs up for me.
and obviously what's her name? Pennington, Raquel Pennington, but she's injured. She's not. She hasn't. She was supposed to get the fight, but she got injured. That's why they gave it to Raquel. You know, based on what you
Who's this again?
Pennington, not Pennington. Um, the Penny Power. What's her name, man? Fuck that beat Amanda and then lost to Amanda again. Oh my word, the annoying chick, man.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Anyway,
word, I could see her face.
yeah, keep
Exactly,
forgetting.
who's she, man? Who's
She
she?
called herself the Penny Power, but the Venezuelan vixen. Anyway,
Yes, I know you're talking about, but nobody knows her name.
keep forgetting. Anyway, I agree with you to an extent there that what you made some good points with regards to Raquel's experience. The only thing that I would give Bueno Silva that would maybe make her lose the fight is the can she go 5 rounds? Does she have the gas tank to go 5 rounds? Raquel has
Who's this?
been Bueno
Uh,
Silva because Raquel Pennington has done
okay.
5 rounds more than once and that came out on the other side. So whereas Bueno Silva and also a lot of Brazilian fighters, especially when they're fighting in America, they're fighting in the States, for some reason they just get gassed out, bruh. They get gassed out all the time. I still can't put my finger on it as to why do they always get so tired. Manny Nunes was like the rare Manny Nunes, George Aldo, these also like the rare man that could make 5 rounds without getting tired. So let's see if she can do it. I think Raquel
I
will
think,
probably be more experienced and take it to the 5th round. She thinks I feel like Raquel feels that she could maybe drown Boynesol around 4 and 5.
yeah. Anyway, in terms of the cardio thing, I agree with you. The Brazilians always get tired for some reason, and I think it's like elevation or something. But Amanda obviously lived in the US, which is why she,
Of
I guess,
course,
climatized.
of course.
Um,
America talking.
but yeah, but I don't want to say now. Yeah, I think Raquel Pennington's gonna win this fight, bro. She's gonna, and oh yeah, the other lady you were thinking about is Juliana Pena.
Juliana
um,
Pena.
which for me would have been the better choice to make, but you know, whatever the UFC does, the UFC wants.
But she was hurt,
But
man.
yeah, she'll
She's
probably be the
injured.
next one.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
she's not. She's completely out for injury with injury. The other girl that I'll talk
she'll
about,
probably.
the other fighter, but she's not on this card,
Mhm.
but she's a name to remember for the future of this year is Tatiana Suarez. Been saying her name for a while. Just watch. She might be a
Oh yeah,
champion.
no, she's the winner of the Ultimate Fighter
The
thing.
tough
Is she
house,
in
yeah.
this weight?
No, she's not bantamweight. She fights featherweight. Ah, not featherweight. The weight below this one. What's it?
Still
Flyweight.
weight.
Strawweight, yeah.
Still.
Straw. No, isn't flyweight and then strawweight? Anyway, she's a division lower. But
Okay.
anyway, let's move on to the next fight. The fight before that one, which would be Neil Magny versus Mike Malot. Now, Mike is undefeated at the moment in the UFC. I've watched this fight as well. He's got really good. He's got really good boxing, really good kickboxing. I haven't really seen him wrestle. He fought 3 times in the UFC. He won all 3 fights, but he fought a bunch of like Mickey Gall is one guy, but Mickey Gall's always been like a tune-up fight as far as we know.
Mm.
The other 2 guys, I haven't seen them to be quite honest. And he's beaten them submission, and a TKO. So he's obviously got a 100% finish rate, but that's only 3 fights in the UFC, where he's fighting Neil Magny, ranked fighter. We know Neil Magny is one of the goalkeepers of that welterweight division. How do you see this one playing out?
Yeah, I think Neil Magny is gonna, like, the last 2 or 3 fights for me, Neil Magny hasn't been great. But I didn't really know this guy is fighting. I think Neil Magny is gonna get the job done. Plus, it's one of those fights where you like go to the toilet before the main event is about to start. So yeah, no opinion on this fight actually, other than I think Neil Magny is gonna win.
I look, I want to point it in Neil Magny's favor as well, but I do think that Neil Magny's run of form at the moment has not been consistent enough for him to be on an upward trajectory to say, okay, he's gonna dominate this one. If you look at either two fighters' last couple of fights, Malot has been on the up. He hasn't lost. He's been beating everyone. He's 10-1. And Neil Magny has gone fight, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. Now, I know he lost to like the top guys of the welterweight, Gilbert Burns, Shavkat Ramanov. You know, we're taking losses to really like top dudes. His last fight, he looked so sloppy against Ian Gary. I think Mike Malot can give Ian Gary a fight. Because I watched Mike, Mike's a good boxer. Fuck the boxer.
He looked like he was defeated before in the press.
Yes, I completely agree. So I'm hoping that Neil Magny comes into this fight with a much different mindset and utilizes his boxing and wrestling. But this guy is quick and he's fast, right? Like you think of how Cody Garbrandt boxes now, but a welterweight. He's got that kind of prowess of boxing, this Mike dude. So yeah, it's a toss-up for me. It doesn't really matter to me who wins. If Neil Magny wins, he stays 13th. If Mike Malot wins, he maybe gets that 13th number next to his name. He becomes a ranked fighter. That's what's on the line here. But yeah, let's see. We'll give our predictions when we close the episode. Then we're moving on to Sean Strickland's training partner, Chris Curtis, versus Marc-Andre Barriault. I can't even say his name, bro. He's like another Canadian man. And the Canadian guys are undefeated when they have a card in Canada. Do you think that streak continues? Chris Curtis, I think his last fight he lost, if I'm not mistaken.
Calvin Gastelum. Was Calvin Gastelum's comeback?
Yes, you're right. It was Calvin Gastelum comeback. He beat Buckley. He lost to Manson. He lost to another guy, Vieira. So he's also not looking too good with his form.
Yeah, both of them and the Canadians are looking good. So I think it's going to be a rock'em sock'em fight. Somebody's going to go to sleep.
Yeah, based on Carl.
And it's probably going to be Chris Curtis.
That's going to win.
No, that's going to go to sleep.
That's going to go to sleep. Yeah, because the other dude's coming off a win, unanimous decision, the Marc-Andre guy. Whereas Curtis' fight didn't even finish the last one. It did not finish. Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't really watch it. I'm not sure what happened. I hope it probably could have been an eye poke or something like that. Curtis has got a really good record. I mean, he's 30, well, not really good, but 40 fights, winning 30 of those fights. We know he's a good boxer. That's his style, really. But again, this fight, it's in middleweight. I think Curtis is a little bit small for a middleweight, if you ask me. You're considering all the other middleweight contenders, especially the guys that are in the top 10 there. I don't honestly see Curtis breaking into that top 10, top 5 division.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Plus, he's not that young anymore.
I'm not sure what his age is, to be honest. But I watched him. 36. I've watched him fight a few times, and I must be honest, I haven't really been that impressed with him.
Nope.
Yeah, but let's see what happens. Let's see if he can break the Canadian win streak when they're fighting in Canada. The final, or the opening bout for the main card, which I think is a mouth-watering fixture.
Yeah, this is a tough fight.
This is going to be
a tough fight.
This is going to be a banger for me. Arnold Allen versus Mosvar Evloev, who is also outstanding mixed martial artist.
Yeah, no.
Boxing, kickboxing, grappling, he's just a fucking genius, my bro.
Yeah. He doesn't finish his fights though, but on decision, The
Yeah.
dude don't miss. He knows how to win, and he knows how to take you into deep waters. Like, he just, I don't know if he doesn't want to finish the guys or whatever, but he wins all the time. Like, wait, he fought somebody recently where I was also like, nah, this
He
guy's gonna
fought
lose this one.
Lopez.
But no, it wasn't against
He
Lopez.
fought
It was
Dan
somebody else.
Ige.
And Lopez is big, bro.
Lopez is
Lopez is a
dope for the
big guy.
featherweight, but he beat Lopez.
Yeah.
He beat Dan Ige. He beat
I think it was the Bryce Mitchell fight that
Raguel.
got cancelled. Yeah, Bryce Mitchell. But anyway, yeah, Evloev
Yeah.
is definitely a sleeper kind of fighter, and he's good everywhere.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna surprise Arnold Allen. I think, even though Arnold Allen has fought tough dudes,
Fought
Max
tough dudes.
Holloway, the Calvin Keita, and the list goes on.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a test for both dudes. Obviously, Allen wants to give this Evloev his first defeat, and Evloev obviously wants to stay undefeated.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's gonna be a tough fight. I think the human blanket might win it again. He might take it all the way. It's a 3-rounder, obviously,
It's a
so it's
3-rounder, yeah.
both guys are gonna come out hard.
Yeah, and both guys got a point to prove. Obviously, Evloev wants to climb the ranks continuously. He wants to get to the top of the table. And by beating Arnold, I thought, obviously, because Arnold's ranked 4th, so by beating Arnold, that gives him that opportunity to say, give me a top 5 guy. Because Arnold's fought the top 5 guys and won, and he only lost to Max, really. So, and he was this close to calling his shot after the podium.
And he lost Calvin Keita also.
No, he beat Calvin Keita. He won Calvin Keita.
No, he beat Dan Hooker.
Yeah, I'm looking at the record now. He beat Yusuf, then Dan Hooker, he won Calvin Keita, and he lost to Max Holloway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. So yeah, he's been on a
good run.
On a good run so far. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think this might be a tricky affair for him. Because fighting Max, he knew he was going to get him a Holloway that's going to just give him an endless amount of waves of punches and kicks and punches and kicks. So he kind of knew what he was going to get there. Whereas in Evloev, I think he's very elusive in the sense of like he can really mix up his offense. And I think that's going to make it a bit difficult for Allen because there's more puzzles to think about now than just an onslaught of boxing. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's I think it's a brilliant fight to put on the card as to open it up with, to be quite honest, open up the main card.
Yeah, definitely.
Before we close off the episode, I just want to touch base on 2 fights that I think people should look out for. We don't have to get into it too much. Just want to give them a name drop really for the event. He's on the preliminary. Check out Brad Katona. Brad Katona just won the most recent tough season. Being one of Connor's guys from out of his gym. Brad Katona, he's also a really good wrestler and a good boxer. He's fighting Garrett Armfield. But anyway, just watch Brad Katona. And then the other guy that's on that card, also on that preliminary card, is Charles Jourdain, who's also top.
Yeah, he was flaky though. He's like coming in quite recently, but he was also flaky at a time where his career was on the line. But anyway, I'm glad to see he's still around.
Yeah, he's climbing. He's climbing slowly. But anyway, Jeddah, before we close it, I'm gonna go from the featured bout in the main event, main card, and just give a quick predictions as we go up the card. So starting with the Arnold Allen and Mosvar Evloev. What's your prediction there?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Russian guy.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Russian guy. Bro, he's been very good with just finding a way to win, and especially on a 3-round. If this was a 5-round fight, I would have said Arnold Allen, but I feel like this Russian dude is gonna blanket him 1 round, and like, I don't know, bro. We'll see, but I'm going with the Russian guy.
Okay. It's a tough pick for me. It really is a tough pick for me. But I'm gonna go towards Arnold. I think Arnold is gonna give this man his first out. If Arnold can maintain the stand up and not allow him to get pushed up against the cage and let Mosvar do what he does best, think Arnold stands a chance of unboxing him. Then we move on to Chris Curtis versus Marc-Andre. What's your prediction there?
I'm gonna go with the Canadian dude, Andre Barriault.
Yeah, I can't say his surname, but yeah, I'm also gonna go towards Mark, and I'm gonna be as honest as possible, and I'm gonna be very biased. I'm gonna be very, very biased just because I'm not a big Chris Curtis fan, so I'm gonna be very biased. Even if Mark loses, doesn't really matter to me. Niel Magny versus Mike Malot. What is your prediction on that one?
Yeah, I guess we're gonna go with Canadian dude again for the win. Homeboys. I'm going homeboys all the way.
All the way, okay. Yeah, I'm also gonna say Mike's gonna outbox this one. And being at home crowd advantage, I think Mike's just gonna put the pressure on you. Then the co-main event, Raquel Pennington versus Mayra Bueno Silva for the women's Bantamweight title.
Very tough. I think Raquel Pennington 5-round decision.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Raquel Pennington finishes in the 4th round TKO. Mayra Bueno's gonna get moeg. She's gonna get tired, come down 4. And if Raquel doesn't put her away in the 4th, she's gonna put her away in the 5th. I'll be very surprised if it ends earlier than that. Yeah, TKO finish. If not TKO finish, she's in the rear naked choker.
Yeah. Probably if there is a finish, it's either TKO or it's gonna be a rear naked choke. For sure.
And then the co-main event, Sean Strickland defending his middleweight title against our own homegrown DDP, Dricus Du Plessis. What's your prediction here?
I gotta go with DDP, bro. Dricus Du Plessis still knocks. plus power. Homeboy Springbok. The UFC Springbok. Gotta go with it, bro. Bet the house. Bet everything you have, South Africa.
Bet everything on it. I really want Dricus to win, because I feel like it will do a lot for South African combat sports. I think it will do a hell of a lot for our country if he does this.
Yeah.
If he pulls off the win here. My prediction is also going to be on Dricus Du Plessis for sure. You have to go with the homegrown guy.
Definitely.
Hulle weet nie want ons weet nie. Yeah, bring it home, DDP. Bring it home, boy. Bring that title home.
And then, just one thing, please. If somebody can still find out the real name of Johnny Walker, the guy that fought last week, that was the male stripper in Brazil. He was a male stripper. Then moved to America and became a UFC fighter. But his name is not Johnny Walker. Please, somebody help us. We're still trying to figure it out.
Let us know in the comments, please, guys. Anyway, that's the end of our episode. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to stay in touch for our recaps and our reviews, and we will see you on the next one. Jedi, shot a lot, bro. We will do it again next week. You must enjoy the day. And you guys out there, enjoy the rest of the day. Peace.